Hello world, from whichever time zone you're catching me from, my name is MD90. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're not subscribed to the channel, make sure you hit that subscribe button, turn on the bell notification to all so that you do not miss the uploads that come up. And the easiest way for you to navigate the channel is to head to the playlist. You'll find videos curated for you based on your interest. So if you're interested in the Kutika podcast, you'll find a playlist for that. For news and trends, there's a playlist for that. Exclusive with MD90, a bunch of playlists that are created based on your interest. So the easiest way to navigate the channel is head straight to the playlist and you'll find what you're here for. Consider becoming a member of the channel. Right next to the subscribe button is the join button. You click on the join button so that you can become a member of the channel. You support the team on the production and a number of things that we're doing here, and we appreciate that.
Well, the former head of state, Edgar Lungu, offered an interview to Dr. Shishua, who's putting out a book with regard to why or how presidents fell. Pretty much, so he was giving his insights on how the presidents or heads of state tend to fail or to deliver on their promises or pretty much function in their offices. And then since then, he's been off the grid again. That was the only picture that was seen. If you haven't seen that broadcast, you can just check out the channel there. You'll be able to see it. That has been seen of Edgar Lungu this year. But since then, he has put up this statement to say, fellow citizens at home and abroad. So this is a statement that he put up just 2 hours ago. So Edgar Lungu says, fellow citizens at home and both at home and abroad. From yesterday extending into today, we have been celebrating the Africa Freedom Day. This is the day in which we celebrate our liberation from colonial masters. This is the day this is the day that is powerful and reminds us of our collective struggle against colonialism, oppression, and injustice. It is indeed a day that reminds us of the freedom that we enjoy that was not handed to us, but we had to fight to great cost of our brave and courageous forefathers and mothers who believed in the justice and equality. And like other African nations, Zambia is the heir to a proud legacy of liberation, who stood at the center of Africa's freedom movement today, and we should honor this history not only with words but also with renewed commitment and defend our freedoms for which our forefathers sacrificed everything. Fellow countrymen and women, on this important day, we must ask ourselves what the freedom we are celebrating today means to us collectively and individually. This freedom must also mean the ability for our people to speak freely without fear, to criticize the government mishandling of national affairs without punishment, and organize politically and otherwise without facing any form of harassment. While recognizing the importance of safeguarding our nation's digital threats of all forms in the cyberspace, using the cybersecurity laws as a way to silence or suppress citizens is the worst form of modern day colonialism. Fellow citizens and men, we must draw clear distinction between oppression and security, because the Zambia we are living in today is now has now laws that that betrays the very freedom we are celebrating. These laws are now intimidate journalists and citizens in general into silence. Activists are being arrested while opposition voices are being censored. However, let me remind you that the true African spirit of Freedom Day calls on us to speak out not only against the colonial chains of yesterday, but the chains of injustice and oppression that we face today. Therefore, I would like to further remind my fellow opposition leaders that we are not enemies of our land, but the conscious of this great nation. So we must defend the constitutional rights of Zambians by speaking against the vices that threaten the very fabric of our democracy and freedoms as a people, and let us continue to call for reform and protect the freedom of expression, restore dignity of public and governance institutions to ensure that government of the day upholds the rule of law. To our youths, it goes further, let me expand that. To our youths who are the backbone of every nation, remember that you are the We are the backbone of the nation, and not only this nation, but the great continent of Africa and the world at large. You should not let anyone make you believe that your voices and opinions are small because freedom belongs to you. Musalapuke, and then he goes, uses a phrase there, when we sepela, pretty much like the young people. This day should not be reduced to a mere public holiday. Let us be a call. Let it be a call to action to reject oppression and injustice and the form of and in all its forms. A call for unity, purpose beyond party lines, and reclaim your independence. Always remember that you are the people fully in charge of your own destiny. May the memory of African heroes and heroines from north, south, east, and west embolden us all. May your unwavering sacrifice inspire all of us, and may their spirits continue to guide us in everything we do. God bless Zambia. God bless Africa. Happy African Freedom Day. Dr. Edgar Lungu, 60th President of Zambia and Tose Alliance Chairperson. So that's a statement coming from Edgar Lungu. What is in the Daily Nation, where the 55 constituencies, with Chapter 1 Foundation calling on Zambians not to allow the United Party for National Development, UPND government, to proceed with their agenda without getting consensus from Zambians, the owner of the constitution. So as you may be aware, there are some constitutional amendments that will be taking place, which have been proposed by the UPND government. So that's what has been referred to there in the Daily Nation. And then one of those things is with regard to the number of seats of members of parliament that has been highlighted, to which Emmanuel Mwamba stated to say, can we afford can we afford a new expanded parliament? MPs, and then he highlights like how much the MPs get at the moment and increasing that. So he says, MPs salaries and benefits, 150 seats plus 90 new seats. One, the Speaker of the National Assembly receives 319,000 kwacha. And then also, these are figures he's putting out. The Deputy Speaker and Chief Whip, he puts up some statistics there, the amount of money a constitution should travel, and then sitting allowance, the duty-free brand new vehicle at book value, gratuity every 2.5 years, diplomatic passport. We may need new parliament building and new offices. So he says those are the benefits that the current members of parliament enjoy. So can the new government afford that extension of that payload? And then news diggers say government proposes 211 elected MPs as it publishes a constitutional amendment bill, so pretty much referring to the same bill there. And then which the UPND responded to saying, government has no intentions to amend the proposed constitutional amendments. Honorable Jacob Mwimbu, Home Affairs and Internal Security Minister. So he says what the government has currently put up as the constitutional amendments, they have no intentions to make changes to that. It is what you've seen and nothing more. Emmanuel Mwamba said Parliament must be lean, small, play a legislative role. Decentralization policy must work. Join the debate, pretty much calling people to join the conversation. And then, as you may be aware, police deploy 300 cops for Lumezi by-elections, which will be taking place soon. So 300 police officers have been deployed in Lumezi in the build-up to the by-elections, and the details are over 300 officers have been deployed for the Lumezi parliamentary by-election, and the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, says all is set for the filing in of nominations on Tuesday, May 27th, so just in a couple of hours that's going to happen, 2025. ECZ Commissioner Major General Vincent Mukanda says the commission has successfully completed the trainings and is expecting a peaceful atmosphere as aspirants following their nominations. Speaking during a briefing with an uniformed staff, Major General Mukanda said ECZ officials and police officers and the media are all vast experience in elections, which will make the process quick and free of disturbances. Meanwhile, Eastern Province Police Commissioner said Officers have been deployed to the valley and the plateau of Lumezi to ensure that the entire district is safe. So that's the situation on the ground. Lumezi has received new police officers, 300 to be specific, based off that news item that was publicized by ZNBC. Wallace Mausambo has been giving his views with regard to the new constitutional changes, and this is what he has to say. So previous and current constitution says all ministers cease to be so 3 months before general elections. Now they want them to remain ministers to election day, as candidates can abuse state resources, cars, and ZNBC money to campaign unfair advantage. This is what cost Edgar Lungu's team, if you remember. They had decided to stay in office as ministers going towards, should have been the 2016 elections, if I'm not mistaken. And then afterwards, that ruling was overturned and they were asked to pay back. So I don't see how it's going to be different for the UPND if they decide to stay in office up to or during the election period. But I doubt they would make that mistake. But anyway, let's wait and see if what Mausampa has any water here. And he goes, maybe politically free, maybe politically free, but Africa is generally still neo-colonized continent and not yet economically free. Its minerals and oil still controlled by foreigners disguised as investors. So I do not honor the day, and I was extra busy at my subsistence farm. So he says he does not honor African Freedom Day. That's a debate he's putting up there. He goes further to say, the proposed amendments reveal that he has realized that come August 2026, he is losing simple majority members of parliament seats. If miracle or hook, he had to win himself. That's why he's now, that's why now he wants to increase his members of parliament either via nomination or delimitation. Shake my head. So those are allegations he's putting across with regard to the constitutional amendments that are taking place there. What is the UPND has picked their candidate? That's a man that you see is on the center there. Is a former DC of Lumezi, and that's going to be their candidate in the upcoming by-elections where those 300 police officers have been deployed. So Rufeyo Ngoma thanks UPND for adopting him as a Lumezi by-election candidate. So former Lumezi District Commissioner Rufeyo Ngoma has expressed deep gratitude to the United Party for National Development, UPND, for adopting him as a party flag bearer in upcoming Lumezi parliamentary by-elections. So UPND has